The Los Angeles Metro Sea Line has long been a vital artery for the South Bay, stretching from Norwalk to Redondo Beach. But as Los Angeles continues to struggle with crippling congestion and rising climate pressures, simply maintaining the status quo isn't enough. That's why Metro is moving forward with a long-planned extension to Torrance. This project promises not just to extend rail tracks, but to extend opportunity, making daily trips faster, greener, and more reliable. So, how exactly will this extension reshape mobility in the South Bay? Let's dive in on today's episode of Great Trainspeed. The Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority, LA Metro, has released the final environmental impact report for the planned Sea Line extension to Torrance, a project that marks a significant step in expanding rail access across the South Bay. Stretching approximately 4.5 miles from Redondo Beach Station to the future Torrance Transit Center, the extension promises a 19-minute rail connection between Torrance and Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, offering commuters a faster, more reliable alternative to highway congestion. The final report carefully weighed different alignment options for the Sea Line extension. One alternative is the right-of-way alignment. This follows the historic Harbor subdivision right-of-way south from Redondo Beach Station, introducing a convenient stop at the Redondo Beach Transit Center before reaching Torrance. Another option is the trench option, which would cost more than the right-of-way one. By contrast, the Hawthorne alignment alternative charts a more ambitious course, running parallel to the bustling I-405 before turning onto Hawthorne Boulevard and adding vibrant new stops at South Bay Galleria and the Torrance Transit Center. The trade-off, however, comes with a higher price tag. Finally, the Metro Board selected a hybrid alignment as the locally preferred alternative. This design blends elevated, at-grade, and trench sections, strategically lowering tracks at crossings like 171st Street and 182nd Street to improve safety, minimize noise, and ease traffic delays. Supported in part by voter-approved measures R and M, construction could begin as early as 2027. Alongside passenger rail, Metro also proposes upgrades to the existing freight corridor, aiming to create a safer, quieter, and more efficient rail environment while balancing costs and neighborhood concerns. The final report and project approval are expected to reach the Metro Board later this fall. If certified, Metro will proceed with design, engineering, and first-last mile planning, setting the stage for a transformative expansion of South Bay transit. What could this extension mean for daily commuters, the South Bay economy, and the environment? Stick with us in the next part as we break it all down. And hey, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss a single update from Great Trainspeed and the world of trains. As mentioned before, the planned Sea Line extension will link Torrance to the Los Angeles International Airport in just 19 minutes, creating a fast, reliable rail alternative to congested freeways. Backed by voter-approved measures R and M, the project positions the South Bay as a stronger gateway to the broader Los Angeles region, enhancing both daily mobility and tourism access. Anchored by Torrance, Redondo Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Manhattan Beach, the South Bay offers a distinctive coastal experience that blends oceanfront dining, year-round outdoor activities, and the relaxed beach lifestyle that stands in sharp contrast to downtown Los Angeles' fast pace. Beyond its leisurely appeal, the area has emerged as a vibrant hub for culture, retail, and entertainment, welcoming both domestic and international visitors seeking a more balanced Southern California itinerary. At the southern terminus, the Torrance Transit Center is poised to function as a gateway to the South Bay's diverse attractions. Visitors will gain direct access to the South Coast Botanic Garden, the Forum's premier sports and entertainment events, expansive retail hubs, and the region's celebrated beaches. The transit center's integration into the regional rail network also positions it as a pivotal interchange for day trips across greater Los Angeles, providing tourists with an effortless means of combining coastal relaxation with metropolitan exploration. The project also broadens accessibility for domestic and international visitors alike. Frequent train services will simplify transfers from LAX to some of Los Angeles' most recognizable destinations, including Hollywood, Santa Monica, and Venice Beach, while also serving cultural and recreational hubs across the South Bay. This fixed rail corridor is expected to reduce traffic congestion, extend leisure opportunities, and stimulate evening and off-peak economies in the area. Looking ahead, the South Bay faces a projected 30% increase in road congestion by 2045 as job growth outpaces population gains. The Sea Line extension is designed to relieve pressure by carrying more than 11,500 daily riders and attracting up to 1.49 million new trips annually. By cutting vehicle travel by nearly 19.5 million miles each year, the extension highlights its dual role, enhancing connectivity and supporting a cleaner, more efficient future for the Los Angeles region. So, how have councils and citizens voiced their opinions on this project? And now, what about you? Do you believe this extension is truly necessary for the region? Drop 1 if you agree, or 0 if you don't. Government leaders have strongly endorsed the Sea Line extension, framing it as a transformative step for both the South Bay and the Los Angeles metro system as a whole. LA Metro Board Chair Fernando Dutra emphasized the project's broader impact, calling it a major step forward for the South Bay and for the entire metro system. He highlighted that extending rail service to Torrance would expand access to good jobs, shorten commutes, and contribute to cleaner air, while stressing Metro's commitment to collaborating closely with community partners to ensure long-term benefits. Echoing this sentiment, LA Metro CEO Stephanie Wiggins described the extension as fundamentally about connecting people and places. She noted the line would directly link Torrance with LAX and integrate South Bay communities into the wider transit network, offering a faster, more reliable alternative to congested freeways. Metro officials have also pointed to the project's role in shaping the region's future. By drawing more residents into the rail system, the extension is expected to reduce vehicle miles traveled, support California's greenhouse gas reduction goals, and prepare for the 2028 Olympic Games, when Southern California's transit infrastructure will face global attention. Planners stress that the project is not just about 4 miles of track, but about reinforcing the vision of a more connected, equitable, and sustainable metropolitan region. While officials focus on long-term mobility and sustainability, community reactions reveal a more mixed picture. On platforms like Reddit, some residents raise tough questions about cost efficiency. How does this extension cost over $2 billion for only 2 stations and 4 miles of line with an already existing right-of-way? Others point to systemic challenges such as limited in-house expertise, standardized station design, and expensive concessions demanded by local governments and utilities. These concerns reflect a broader frustration with Metro's cost structure, which has consistently run higher than peer agencies in other parts of the U.S. and abroad. Skeptics also question ridership potential, noting resistance from certain South Bay residents, especially aerospace engineers who have become frequent critics at Metro Board meetings. Some argue that without major new housing or employment hubs near the extension, projected ridership may not justify the scale of investment. Still, optimism exists among those who see the project as a foundation for future growth. One commenter expressed hope that the extension could eventually be pushed through Long Beach to connect directly to downtown, creating a true north-south rail spine across the county. Another suggested that a dedicated transit center could be a safer long-term bet than relying on the struggling South Bay Galleria, which some predict could close within the next few years. At the same time, frustrations linger among voices who argue the $2 billion investment might have been better directed toward larger-scale priorities like the Sepulveda Transit Corridor, the K-Line extension, or the Southeast Gateway. For these critics, the Torrance extension feels like a politically driven project, securing a win for South Bay leadership but falling short of addressing the region's biggest mobility challenges. And that's a wrap for today. We hope you enjoyed the ride with us. Don't forget to join us again in the next episode for more exciting updates.